Welcome back, everyone. I wanted to do a reaction to this interview with Justin Gaethje and Jon Anik regarding his upcoming fight at the UFC Freedom 250 event. I was watching this on my drive home from work, and I really appreciate the poise and measured responses that Gaethje had, and I thought this was a very insightful interview. So I'd like to play it over and then just kind of discuss some of the key things that stood out to me. So let's go ahead and load it up. And let's take a look.
All right, we are now joined by the man around whom this fight card is built, the UFC interim lightweight champion, the highlight Justin Gaethje. It's good to see you, man. A couple weeks out. How are we feeling?
36 days. Can't wait.
Every time you fight, it's stars and stripes, loud and proud. And I think for a lot of American fight fans, and I guess I would say global fight fans around the world, if one American was going to be showcased on this card, it should have been Justin Gaethje. So how did this come together, and was there ever a doubt in your mind that you would be fighting on the White House lawn?
I mean, I was actually telling my teammates yesterday, like, obviously I was always going to be here. So I'm not sure why I was ever worried about Paddy Pimblett. But, yeah, I mean, without that win, I would not be here. And that was, again, the biggest fight of my life. And so I knew after I lost to Max, beat Fiziev, I knew that these fights were coming. I thought Taporia would be in January. And then I thought I would get to defend the belt on the White House card against Max Holloway or Charles Oliveira. That was what I have been putting into existence and speaking into existence since the Fiziev fight and since the Holloway fight. It just so happens that it, turn of events, didn't transpire like that, but I did get Paddy Pimblett for interim championship in January, and that solidified that I would be here and would be showcased on this fight. And it's an honor. Truly is an honor to come from the middle of nowhere. Of course, I want to represent this country as it should be, and I think I have done that every single fight with my effort, with my preparation, with my discipline, with my sacrifice, and I'm living the American dream. So win or lose, I will be 100% prepared. I've been through this so many times.
Right.
Probably fought for, six belts in the UFC, which is unprecedented, and here I am, still here. They tried to get rid of me, but they can't do it.
Living the American dream, financial freedom accrued. So it seemed like the preparation for the Paddy Pimblett fight was fantastic, and the performance was great. I'd imagine you were very satisfied with everything that happened leading up and on fight night.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I really trust my coach to instill a game plan non-verbally, through action, through constant work. You've seen me fight so many times. You've seen me fight 10 different fights. I can be 10 different fighters, and this sport is about matchups. And so obviously I'm not going to fight the same fight that I fought against Fiziev, against Paddy Pimblett, but I do possess the skills to fight 10 different fights. And so this is a very specific, very particular fight, more boxing heavy, very different than my other two championship fights where I was fighting, grappler heavy fighters.
Yeah.
And my mistake in those fights was I made adjustments based off of the opponent I was fighting. I'm going to be my best and perfect self. And if he can beat me on that night, then props to him.
It's interesting to hear your contemporaries talk about Ilia Topuria. Some people think he's tracking to be the greatest mixed martial arts athlete of all time. When you watch the film, does he seem as special to you as he does to some other fighters?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can't watch him put Volkanovski, Holloway, and Oliveira to sleep back to back to back and not think something special is happening. All those guys were compromised by position, and he is very good at putting you into bad positions. And so obviously that is what I am focused on right now, is staying in good position, being reactive, never retracting, but always reacting. And I'm going to fight a perfect fight, and I'm going to throw missiles.
You're one of the best pure athletes on this roster, and I think a lot of the fan base doesn't understand just how good you are athletically at all of these different sports. I know you get sick of people asking about the wrestling, but I would submit to you that as an All-American wrestler, you have probably, as an All-American, employed your wrestling less than any All-American ever has in the octagon. So
I mean, I would beg to differ, and I could debate you through and through on that. Why has all my fights, except the ones that I've lost, not gone to the ground?
defensive wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, more than half of wrestling is stopping them from taking me down. I've used that. That's what I was the best at when I was a wrestler. It was very hard to score on, very, very stubborn, if you can't tell. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm stubborn with position.
Yeah.
And it's just exhausting.
Yeah.
But I promise you, since Oliveira subbed me, I have been working thoroughly. I could have subbed Patty. I just didn't want to take any chances. But I could have subbed Patty, 100%.
So instinctually, if there's an opportunity to wrestle offensively, you're more than willing to take that.
Well, I mean, so if you consider my Patty Pimblett fight offensive wrestling, then yes, I will be doing that.
Yeah.
I stopped him, got him to a front headlock position, and didn't let them get to guard, half guard, side control. I don't want half guard. I don't want side control. I don't want to take their back. I'm going to stay 50-50 positions, hanging on their head, landing big shots, and they're going to wonder why I'm not moving to any other positions. That's how I fight. That's how I will fight. And hopefully I get them into that position.
So if George St. Pierre was still in the UFC and they told him he was going to defend his title at the White House, but the fight was outside, I'm not sure the competitor that resides within would have accepted the fight because he might have been worried intangibly or about a variable. Have you
There's a
fought
lot
outside?
of variables.
What's that?
I love the variables.
Yeah.
The biggest factor and the biggest fact is no matter what variable I face, he will face.
Yeah.
And so I hope there's all the variables.
Right.
Not just lightning, thunder,
Right,
bugs.
right.
And bring it on. My first fight ever was outside. I'm from the country. I am a country boy. So if this was in the dirt, I started in the dirt.
Yeah.
So if we get into the dirt, I'm okay with it.
Minor by blood, right?
Yeah, all of that.
If we end in the dirt, I'm okay with that. I think he's hinting at retirement. I don't know if I see him retiring if he wins the belt. That's something we'll just have to let play out.
So you had a chance to go to the Oval Office and spend some time with President Trump. Were you feeling any added emotions or excitement as we counted down to June 14th?
Well, I have no emotions anymore in my life, so no, I felt nothing. I was sitting in, when Yuri got knocked out by Oberg, that happened, and I felt nothing. This sport has changed my life. I don't have emotions anymore. And so, yeah, this is special. I know how special it is. I'm not a fool. I know how special this is for my coaches, my family, and how special this will be when I'm done. But right now...
Interesting take. I think it is important to be non-emotional, right, in these situations and look at it just as business. But very tough. You know, when fighters lose, I mean, we see them go through all range of emotions. When they win, same thing. So I think he really has desensitized himself almost to a point where whatever the outcome is, it's all good, right? And that's maybe not a bad approach. It does make me feel that he's, I don't want to say he's quitting, right? He's done what he's done in this sport, man. The guy is exciting to watch. You know, a fighter with performance bonuses or fight of the nights on almost every fight he has. So we definitely got to give him his flowers. Definitely got to give him his flowers. He's done more than enough in the sport.
It's a cage.
But when your mom, Carolina, says she's proud of you, do you feel emotion then?
Well, I mean, again, that has been my biggest goal since I was born, is to make my parents proud. They sacrifice everything, they lead by example, and they deserve to be proud of their children. My brother and sister are just as successful as me.
Yeah.
Man, what a great response. As a parent myself, you know, I hope I can instill that in my daughters, that, you know, it's not corny to make your parents proud, right? And I know his parents have been very supportive of him in his career. That's obvious. And he talks about them often in that same regard. So big respect to Gaethje for that.
Amazing parents. My sister delivers babies all day. My brother, you know, provides for his 4 daughters every day. So I can't tell you how blessed I am to have my parents. If I wasn't here, I would be doing something to better society.
So when you look at Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway,
I'm curious, what do you think would have been an alternate career for Gaethje, right? If he says, I would do something to better society. So to me, it's something, a service-based job, acts of service in some way. Who knows? Maybe nursing.
Alexander Volkanovski and some of the pitfalls that they fell in against Ilia Topuria. Is there one thing worth avoiding with this guy?
And that's not throwing shade. For those who don't know, I'm a registered nurse myself. So, yeah, it's just me thinking out loud, right? What kind of career would he have been in?
You don't have to answer a game
It's
plan
obviously
question,
position. position.
Yeah.
But if they got, I said it earlier, they got compromised. They got put on their back foot. They got put on their heels on his second shot when he was in the middle of a 5-punch combination. That's something that I cannot do.
Yeah.
I will.
He's definitely. I mean, this is obvious. He's studying film, but not only studying film, he's studying what Ilya's former opponents did wrong that got them in the situation they were in, right? He's actually describing it here. He's going to get into more of that, so I'll let it play.
Move forward this fight. I've told you before. You said it during my last fight. I do believe that you have to move forward, and if that puts me into more dangerous positions, then I have to do that still. And this is how I will fight this fight.
Some people.
This is going to be a banger of a fight, dude. With that type of mentality, and I know Ilya is more than game to throw down and move forward. I think that could be dangerous for Gaethje, man. I really think Gaethje needs to utilize those leg kicks like we've seen him do on past opponents. I don't know if it's a smart idea to stand and bang with Ilya, because Ilya's punches are deadly, man. That guy's got dynamite in his hands. And he punches in combos, right? And he utilizes the jab very well. So, I know Gaethje also has knockout power, of course. He's put many guys. I mean, anyone who fights Gaethje looks like they've gotten in the worst fight of their life, right? I mean, I think of people like Tony Ferguson, even the Paddy Pimblett fight recently. I mean, look what Paddy did to Chandler, and then look what Gaethje did to Paddy, man. Holy shit. So I know this is going to be a banger of a fight. Definitely deserves to be the main event. I know a lot of people were disappointed not seeing like Arman fight for the belt with Ilya. I think that's going to come up, possibly that or Ilya versus Islam.
People say the most basic human need is to feel appreciated. I'm not sure any athlete gets as much adoration from the fan base as you. I know promotionally at times maybe you haven't felt the love, but how do you feel overall?
I mean, a lot of the times that I get asked these questions, I'm very much closer to a fight. And when I'm closer to a fight, I'm very...
Yeah.
Great question from Jon Anik. Really great. And this is what I wanted to highlight here, this response by Gaethje.
Petty. I'm very bothered. I'm very short-tempered.
Right. Yeah.
And so they're probably not a fair assessment. I've been here for...
Incredible amount of self-awareness, right? He's as closer to the fight. He gets very bothered, very petty, very short in his responses. I think he's also seeing a lot of the sentiment from the MMA community is that he doesn't stand a chance, right? And of course, there's some people who are rooting for Gaethje and believe he can definitely pull an upset. Look, we've seen this time again. He actually says this sport is crazy. Anything can happen. We've just seen that with Strickland and Khamzat. Everyone thought Khamzat was going to dominate Strickland like Khamzat dominated DDP. We saw what happened. Strickland fought smart. He fought off angles. Khamzat, stands straight, punches straight, doesn't really have the movement. He gassed out early, had a rough weight cut. So Gaethje, I think the thing I admire much about Gaethje is he's very down to earth. He's not about the antics, right? He is a fighter first, and the way he approaches these things is not for ego-driven purpose. He likes to entertain the fans, and he does that by being himself and going and showing up to fight. And that's what people appreciate. This guy is always putting on exciting fights. He never backs down. And now he's at the point where he's the underdog, right? And there was a time where anyone who faced Gaethje, it was like, oh, fuck, dude. That guy's done, right? Especially after they saw what happened to Ferguson. There's so many great fighters in the lightweight division. You have Poirier, who recently retired. You have Gaethje, right? You had Ferguson at one point, 12-fight win streak. You just have Oliveira, for example. My God, man. Oliveira is like the uncrowned champ at this point, So I just want to commend Gaethje. Incredible amount of self-awareness.
Since 2017, I've been ranked in the top 5. I say they try to get rid of me, but they've always given me big fights.
Right.
And so that's just them giving me opportunities to stay here.
We're all going to have chills when you make that walk on June 14th.
You do every time. I love the fact, and I know that the heart rate in everybody's body changes when they know that I'm about to fight, because you know that I'm willing and ready to do.
Facts, man. I don't know if I'm the only one that gets this way. I don't think I am. But, man, my freaking palms get sweaty. You know, I like my feet get sweaty. I get anxious, man. I'm like, holy shit, what's going to happen in this fight, you know? Not every UFC fight does that for me. I mean, it's a lot of the ones with the big superstar names, right? The Pereira, or I should say the Pereiras, the Jones when he did fight, and when he came back with Cyril Gane and Stipe. Even though Stipe one wasn't as exciting, I think, because we all kind of knew it was going to happen. To Poirier, right? Even Poirier, man. I loved watching Poirier. Chandler, even though that dude, you know, unfortunately, things don't go his way, he still puts on banger fights. And we got to see Chandler versus Drew Dober, man. That is the fight to make. That is the fight to make, UFC.
Not anything to win. I would never cheat. But my discipline, my sacrifice has me as prepared as one can be, and my willingness to walk into the fire should be commended and should be recognized and should be replicated in people's daily lives without taking risk.
Well,
that is the mic drop for me, man. It should be replicated in people's daily lives, the amount of discipline, right? You know that the more prepared a fighter is, the less nervous they are. That self-doubt, I think, creeps in when you know you didn't prepare hard enough, right? And that's all of us. If we didn't study enough for that exam, if we didn't, put together this presentation for work with the most amount of effort, or we did it last minute, anything like that, the more prepared you are, it shows. It shows in your confidence. It shows in the way you conduct yourself. It shows in the way you execute the plan. And it shows in the way you respond when the result is announced.
On behalf of my fellow Americans, you've been a total inspiration, and we can't wait to see what you do at this showcase on June 14th. Future Hall of Famer, Justin the Highlight Gaethje,
Yes,
UFC
sir.
Freedom 250. See you soon.
Let's go.
Very excited about this fight, guys. I'm curious to hear your thoughts and see who do you think is going to win. We are less than 2 weeks away from that fight. And I think this is going to be a great, great card. I know there's a lot of, there's a lot of mixed feelings, right? A lot of, I don't want to say contrarians. It's fair criticism, but I think they put together a pretty great card. One thing I wish is that we saw Gane and Pereira for the actual heavyweight strap, right? I know that there's a lot going on with Aspinall right now, and his return's been delayed, understandably so. But this is a great card, right? We have Gaethje, which is one of the most beloved and exciting fighters of the lightweight division, and Topuria, who's been, man, just a spectacle. Honestly, a spectacle, in my opinion. To put out 3 GOATs, right? You got Volkanovski, you got Holloway, you got Oliveira, and to knock all of them out, it's wild, man. And in 2 different weight classes, and double champ, he's undefeated. There's just a lot of unknowns, man. And Topuria's confidence, on a different level, man. Again, you put in the preparation, and it shows. Please leave a comment. I'm curious to see your thoughts. Who do you think is going to win? What do you think of this interview here? And what would you like to see next? Can't wait for the UFC 250 Freedom event. UFC Freedom 250 event. Looking forward to it. And we'll keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching. Take care. Peace.